What's up, YouTube? Once again, I'm back. Let's get to it. Topic of the show today: stepdads are valuable and important. Are they? Well, of course they are. See, most couples, when having children, are like 95, 96 chance of breaking up. And, which leads to baby mother or, you know, wife with kids type of a situation. And when these relationships that go apart and they have kids involved, there is a level of help these women still need. And how can a stepdad be beneficial? Well, he takes a load off. He is better for the job than you were as a husband or boyfriend. Now, I'm not going to say he's a better parent, but due to unforeseen circumstances and the fact that you guys couldn't work it out and you guys went your separate ways, and now the kids are, left with just the mother, I just think, the stepdad or, could step in and fill some voids, right? And it's, in my opinion, that is very prevalent. Very prevalent. And I'm going to give some pushback on this video that we're going to show. So let me get it ready. See what we got here. We got Anton Daniels giving his opinion, and we'll see what he has to say. And then,
if you just frame it, right, and you say, okay, well, this guy, he took care of his business his whole life, and he did the right thing, and he didn't have any children out of wedlock, and he lived.
If you guys watched episode season 1, you saw a very controversial conversation about step parenting, where Anton had a conversation about stepfathers being crash dummies.
Yeah. Step crash dummies.
Step crash dummies is what he likes to call them. Thanks for the correction. Thank you.
Hate it all.
Anton, can we talk about
even after rewatching it? You
That's an upgrade.
You hated it even after rewatching it?
Yes, because I don't agree with it.
Well, okay, let's talk about the foundation of what he believes, and we'll talk about what we don't agree with. Anton, why don't you like men being stepfathers?
I don't think that it's a benefit. First of all, if you just frame it, right, and you say, okay, well, this guy, he took care of his business his whole life, and he did the right thing, and he didn't have any children out of wedlock, and he literally had the ability to pick and choose anybody that he wants, right? Why would he go and choose to take care of another man's kid who is at some point going to say, you're not my daddy? Like, why would he ever do that, right? First of all, it removes the responsibility from the woman from choosing the guy that she's supposed to be with in the first place. Because most women have skipped over the man that she was supposed to be with.
Right.
Most of them, right? And then on top of that, you then have to go back and forth with another dude that's going to always be tied to her.
and this is where I disagree. How would he know that you skipped over someone that you were supposed to be with? How can you make that assessment? That is impossible for him to know this. Who you meant to be with and who you met, or how your life has ended up is how your life has ended up. So if you're with the guy, y'all broke up, and you got another guy, and y'all have kids, and you broke up, and then you end up with another guy. Why you have kids but another guy, and then y'all end up being together for 50 years? That's what it's meant to be. Who's skipping over? Most people don't work out, especially from high school to 25. Most people don't work out. 99.9% of most couples, starting from, I would say, from 15 to 30, don't work out. And each of them all end up going on and moving on to do better things in life. So I don't agree with Anton when he says most women skipped over the guy or the good guy or the guy that they were supposed to be with when they're not together, they're not with that person. So how is that possible? And he's supposed to be a Christian, so he knows that's impossible and highly improbable.
Through that kid, because essentially that is marriage,
Right.
right? You're
Having a baby with
married,
somebody?
yeah, you're married to that woman through the kid because you're never gonna be able to detach from each other.
What happens if the daddy not around? Because a
What
lot
do
of
you
these
mean,
niggas
what
be
happens?
leaving.
She need to go back to her baby daddy.
But then he left.
Well then she gotta wait because that shouldn't be somebody else's. But here's the thing.
So she gotta wait till the
That
baby
is
is
the
grown to
No,
date.
no, no,
That's
no,
the
no. Listen,
stupidest
this
shit I
is
ever
what
heard
I'm
in my
saying.
life.
That is
Stupidest
not
shit I ever heard in my
Another
life.
dude's responsibility. She got to figure that out on her own. Now, if she can finesse a dude into getting with her and doing it on that time, then that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm so
But
glad
I don't
we're
see
individuals
I don't
and
see the
everybody has their own
benefit.
opinion.
Nobody
Hold on,
has ever.
Crystal, what you
Nobody
say?
has
So
ever.
glad we're all individuals and everybody has their own opinion. I'm so glad that everybody don't think like you.
Why not?
Because
If people thought like me, women would think twice about the man that they chose to have children with.
I don't. So we. This is
I
my
feel
thing.
like at the
I
end of
do-
the day, you never know people's circumstances, what they going through, or what's happening when those babies are being made. I mean, you can say you want to have the best mindset and make the best decisions, but in reality, that's not life. So it's like what you're. That's like we in make believe land. What you're saying,
How is that
real
make-believe
life
land?
happens. So that world you're talking about is make believe world because that does not happen. Look how many. Not that it's a good thing, but look how many babies are born out of wedlock. Look what's going on in the time that we're in. This is a different time from the past. A lot of times when you guys have those mind frames, you're thinking about how things were so long ago. That's not even the world that we're living in anymore.
That's why we want to make America great again.
We can.
You did not just sit here and say that shit.
That's why we want to make America great again. Because think about it. The more that we are left up to our own devices and get away from the core of what we're supposed to be doing in the first place, the worse off it gets. The reason why people with more information than we've ever had before continue to go down this dark path, we know for a fact that a child raised in a single parent household has less of an opportunity to be great, more of a probability to need therapy, more likely to go to jail, less likely to go to college.
And once again, he's wrong about that. Meaning, they don't have a two-parent household, they're more likely to go to jail. That is a very uninformative answer. Because the numbers are the numbers. 15%, 20% of people are going to be degenerate. They're going to go to jail. But the average American will go on to be average. That's the majority. That's 85%. 85% of men and women will go on to be average. And then there's going to be another small percentage that's going to be wealthy, rich, or high earners. That's the numbers. The numbers have not changed ever. So it doesn't matter whether they're single mothers, because there are single mothers who have kids who have been successful. But the numbers tell the story. There's always been a minority. There's always will be a minority that will have degenerate or go to prison, get shot, killed, whatever, gangbang, all the degenerate stuff. And then 85% of the other Americans are going to be average. Get a job, come home, work, pay bills. And then there's going to be another small percentage that will be rich to well off. And that's undisputable. So he's wrong about that too.
College, more likely to have debt and be asking the government for student loan forgiveness. We know that is the pathway more than likely.
You dealing with
I
that
come
being
from
born black.
I come from a
You
two-parent
said that
household, and I
we
got
know
people
this.
being born black. Period.
We know
you can be
this.
born to a two-parent
That's
household.
nonsense.
That is
I was
that is
born in
so
the hood
true.
like everybody else, and that ain't my circumstance or any of the people that
Because
was
you
born
made
with.
it different for yourself.
No, I didn't. It's
Individuals
because
move
I was raised in
differently.
a two-parent household, even though we were born. But that don't mean nothing. Because I'll go into that in a minute. But my point
You
is,
need a microphone. Hold on.
but my point is that even with all of the information and the technology and being able to look in hindsight, y'all still choosing to do it. This is not something that anybody is making y'all do. Y'all choosing to have children out
We're
of
not
wedlock.
making them men have babies with us. It takes two.
Time
It's
out,
not
first
this.
of all,
My,
y'all
not
choosing
this
to
my
do it.
decision.
Okay,
Why-
2K, what you
no,
have to
let me
say?
ask her a question. Why would a woman have a child out of wedlock? Why would she choose to do that today?
How about I'm gonna take it back to what I say every time. Like you said, you grew up in a two-parent household. You probably was taught something a totally different way. Imagine being me, born in a household where my mom is a single parent and there are different baby daddies. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm growing up where auntie's doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not married. Everybody not with, not with the person that they had kids with,
Mhm.
but then you still find your way. You move through life. You do what you have to do. Let's say you find you a man that loves you for you and love your babies, and you do have kids that are from another man. You feel me? But the situation didn't work. You saying because I made a bad decision and had a baby by a guy that decided he wanted to whoop my ass, now I can't find love and happiness because of that. That don't make sense. And that's crazy.
Duh.
Chulo, what you say?
So I chose to be a stepfather, pretty much, right?
Chulo.
It matched my aesthetic, right?
What,
It
second
makes
place?
my aesthetics is
I'm
crazy.
follow me.
That's not second
Follow me,
place.
follow me,
Second
follow
place?
me, follow me.
That's your aesthetic?
I was a single father, right? I was a single father of a girl. You know what I'm saying? I was a girl dad, so it was a little different, right? I always wanted a boy. I wanted to know what it was to actually raise a man, and all this other thing. So when I actually met the woman that I decided to marry, I was like, okay, cool. She came with a son, and I already understand that it's a two-parent deal. You don't want to be in those situations where like I'm with your mama, but little nigga, you on the side.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations.
You got to
where it was
kick
like,
over a sport like
Huh?
Snoop did.
Yeah.
And Baby Boy. Yeah.
So at the same time, her son
You
was
ain't my
4.
daddy. I hate you.
Yeah.
Her son was 4, and my daughter was 4. So a lot of things matched. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things meshed. I'm like, listen, it'd be dope for my daughter to have somebody to play with, somebody to be around, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
That way it's not, hey, please my child
Yeah.
to try to please me.
Yeah.
It's a game in the beginning
Yeah.
versus saying, okay, listen, they're gonna get in there, we're gonna see how it really is. Because how kids will start taking their parents' side,
Yeah.
the realistic things of whatever the case is.
I think that this conversation skips over something that's important. And the important part that it skips over is bringing that step parent into the household can create the household into a two-parent household.
What?
Yeah, that's what
Most
happens. If a
definitely.
single mother gets married, now you're in a two-parent
Two-parent
household.
household.
And when you have that two-parent household, like you just said, statistically, we know what the numbers look like differently. We don't say the numbers off a two-parent household biologically all the time. It's a two-parent household. So me marrying my husband and him having 2 kids, the kids' experience, he sleep right now, but if I woke his ass up, he'll tell you his experience with us at our house is going to differ than the experience that he gets at his mom's house with his stepfather. You feel me?
Most step kids are package deal. It's kind of like cable, okay? You are the high-speed internet. Your child is you are the high-speed internet, and your child is the house phone.
Okay.
Okay?
Nobody use the house phone though.
Exactly. He don't like the kids.
Oh my God.
If we got
That's
to
a
be
fact.
honest,
That's a fact.
if we got to be honest, like I hate step stools, step daddies, step mom.
We can tell.
Hey, but you gotta-
We can tell, nigga.
It depends on how old the kid is.
Once again, I'm glad people have individual
The
thoughts.
stepdad ain't nothing but the substitute.
He went into that mode of what movie was that one? Dog
And
was
that
like,
got
I hate
nothing to do with
everything
mama,
black.
though.
I hate
That got
drums
nothing to
because
do
they
with
black.
mama.
I hate piano music because they
Can I
black.
say this really
If
quick?
you
If
ever
I
see it,
disrespect, you're gonna get it.
Stepdaddies ain't nothing but the first loser.
can I ask you guys
Number
this
two.
though?
That's
Why do you guys put that emphasis on stepdaddies and not stepmoms?
Oh, stepmama's worse. They don't.
So that's kind of foolish. He's going to say a stepdad is a dummy, a walkover. But we do have to realize that relationships are failing at an all-time rate. So whether you meet a woman with a child or without a child, it's still a risk. And the numbers are against you. So what does he mean stepdads are losers? Right? When the fact remains is stepdads are, I'm sure they didn't grow up wanting to be a stepdad, but the women they happen to fall for happen to have kids. I mean, you can't dictate who you're going to fall in love with. This usually comes out of nowhere. But I think this is a hard judgment to say, oh, that he's a stepdad, he's a loser. When in actuality, who you fall in love with, is who you fall in love with. And if they happen to have kids, and you really accept that, then it is what it is. You're not backing down for who you love. Now, is it an idea? No. But does it have probability? Yes.
Worst people in the world.
Let's talk about why. So you can get ate the fuck up.
The worst person in the world, Cinderella.
Okay.
Her stepmama
Right.
was treating her bad.
This nigga went to a Disney movie, bro.
Listen, I love this. Second place. Stepmamas, the reason why they are one of the worst people in the world because they don't love you until you come over. If you don't come over, you don't hear from them. They don't call you, they don't text you, none of them.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Stepmama,
That's my kid.
Stop using yourself.
No, I'm gonna always use myself as an example because I am the example for the people.
No, you gotta
use
talk to
my
the
kid.
majority.
Show do.
You
No,
use yourself
no,
an
no,
example.
Show
all the
do.
time.
And he a millionaire, and these niggas majority broke.
No. Let's be real. I say that to qualify myself to be able to have this conversation. That's why I do it. But I don't use myself.
But
Well,
she
I'm
no.
qualifying myself to
But
have
y'all
this
do know,
conversation.
realistically speaking, everybody is not gonna be married. Y'all do know that, right?
Yeah, that's the
like y'all
problem.
do know that it's 200 women to every one man.
Yeah.
Like, can we just play the numbers game for a minute? Do y'all know that?
Go get back
It's
your baby.
200. Okay.
He wasn't the person that was compatible.
he was
The
good
thing is,
enough to
right,
get back with
bro, because hear me out. This is
You're not
wait,
getting back with
no. Can we have this
You make
conversation?
decisions.
Because in the last
Because
episode, pause one at a time. In the last episode, we had a conversation about women's rights, birth control, and things like that. And now in this episode, we're talking about motherhood, why you having this man baby and things like that. You having this man baby because some women feel like if there's a child growing in me, I'm not going to abort it. So you fucked up and you got pregnant by a loser, pookie picking ass nigga, and now you're gonna have that child and you're keeping that baby. That's what happens. Well, we're gonna what's this, y'all? That's how babies are made. If this is a penis and this is a vagina, this is how babies are made. We're gonna stop acting like it takes being in love, you knowing somebody, and everything else to do this. Y'all sleep with people on the first night after knowing them. And you get shot. If you get the club shut up, you might get pregnant. If you get pregnant and you decide to keep that baby, you are definitely making a choice, and you are definitely making the choice to say, I'm gonna have to either deal with this man forever, I'm gonna be a single mama. And so we're not gonna punish the women. We are not gonna punish the women that actually sat up here and said, you know what? I'm not gonna kill God's creation. I'm gonna stand 10 toes on the fact that this is my baby. But you definitely have, but you're doing enough of a sense having to raise a child by yourself. You know how much fucking time a kid take, bro?
Hey, listen.
You know how much energy a kid take?
Just to tap in. These bum ass niggas, they will leave the situation, right? Early on.
Yeah.
Super early on.
Yeah.
I hate bum ass niggas.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't a man, you ain't a man if you ain't taking care of your situation.
Period.
And the way I hate, I will then take care of just to show, nigga, this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
This is what you did
Now,
wrong. Watch what I'm gonna do with this boy, and I made that boy who he is.
Now watch this.
$2 million into this account at 14 years old.
Period.
And that's something that his father.
I'm never giving
Now watch
somebody
this.
else
Watch
shit.
this.
Why do you
If he
feel
thought
like
the
that,
way you thought, that young man will never be sitting the way that he's sitting now if he thought the way you thought. Because you feel like it's not that baby fault. That baby
When
They
do
should
y'all
be.
take
Okay, hold on, 2K, go ahead.
When do y'all take accountability? If all these dudes that balls now all of a sudden, when do you look at yourself and say, damn, well maybe my pussy at home and shit?
Well,
I don't know. That's not what it is.
If he a ball, why you can't admit that you're a homeless?
the thing is
You
that
have
pause.
to-
No, pause.
That's
Because
a
what happens is because even what happens when a woman has a child and says, okay, you know what, I fucked up. I had a kid with a dude that's a loser. He's not doing this. Let me do the inner work to make sure I can do better for myself and pick a better husband in the future so I can live the life and pick the life that I need to have. And so if you do that, you run into niggas like this that be like, nah, you had that baby, so raise my own.
No,
bitch.
Randy, listen.
I'm not the owner of the homeless shelter. Why would I come in here?
But how
and
about
pick up
this?
those
I seen a situation. I know a girl who she take care of herself, got her own business, do what she's supposed to do. Was in a relationship with a guy. They was together for like 10 plus years. Had a baby, the little girl like 8 years old, right? things didn't work out between them.
And now he ain't doing shit.
He was the best father ever when they was together.
And now
had
he
no
ain't
reason
shit.
for her to think he'd ever be a deadbeat. He did everything they were supposed to do. They were not married. You get what I'm saying? They wasn't married. It is what it is.
Flag on the play.
Boom. Okay. But when the relationship ended between the mother and him, it was as if the daughter no longer existed. And he said, I'm moving on with my life. He dealing with somebody else that got kids and dealing
take
with
care of
her
their
kids and don't even acknowledge his own child because the relationship didn't work with the mother.
Yep.
When do that mean cut your seed off?
You know
You
what?
said
And mind you, he was in her life for them 8 years.
You
That-
said
that
flag
whole
on the play
time.
because of the marriage. I have a friend right now. I have a friend because of lack of marriage. I have a friend right now, and I wish that she was still here to tell her story because she just left. Who was married, got pregnant, found out her husband was cheating while she was pregnant, had the strength to say, you know what, it's not gonna work. Yeah, the fucking
That's the
strength.
easiest thing to do.
Yeah, so walk the fuck away. Absolutely.
You gonna leave your baby daddy and go get cheated on by a complete stranger.
No, now she's gonna be by herself and get herself together, and she's gonna be
Well,
okay
no,
being
how about
alone.
she is alone and she's healing and making the right decisions and not running into another relationship right
see,
now?
this the problem right here. This is black women, y'all have created these dysfunctional homes because of y'all ego.
Ooh.
A nigga cheating on me, now my kids got to suffer. Win.
Hey,
Win.
he know how to put shit wrong.
He's not 100% wrong, but he's not 100% right.
I forgive you. How about you cheat and I forgive you, and then you keep doing it because you
See,
think
that's
I'm not gonna leave?
That's different.
How about that?
Wait. Y'all,
How about you do it once and I take it and I say, okay, let's work it out, and then you keep doing it.
But
You
the
think
pro-
you
the
gonna have a
problem
Rashida
is-
and Kurt?
y'all
You gonna have a
act
Rashida and Kurt? That's what you gonna
Yo,
have.
it's so delusional.
It is a delusion because y'all female intuition work every time except for when you really need
It never tell you when I'm home.
it. It's so funny because y'all
Actually, I have anxiety, so my intuition does never work.
but I just find it so funny because y'all know who the man is that y'all dealing with before
Yeah.
y'all ever even lay down with him.
Yeah,
Y'all, no, you do.
I
Most
would,
of the time that y'all do.
I would
though.
agree with him on that.
And a
I
lot
believe that
of
you
of
do.
times y'all
You
deal with
do.
the dude that y'all not supposed to be with, and then you looking to change him into something that he never was.
You are right.
Most of the time, you know that you dealing with an ain't shit ass nigga.
Yeah.
That's fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Y'all have kids by him,
Yeah.
and then somehow y'all standards raised when y'all got extra kids tagging along with y'all. How the fuck does that happen?
Hey, do you
Well,
think
can
it's
I-
an age range though? Do you think it's an age range? Like, let's say you had the child between 17, 18, 19.
That part.
You
That
don't
part.
even have a mindset
That
of
part.
understanding who you
That part.
Who would like you?
That part.
Is it an age range? I
You
see
don't
it
know
like
what's going on
20,
with
30
people's
something.
Because you sit right next to a product of that.
So you can never grow. Is what
You
you're
sit
saying.
right next to
No,
not a
listen,
product from
I
my
think
mother,
that
but
you
from
can
myself.
grow.
What y'all talking about
Go
over here?
ahead,
What
go
y'all talking about over
No,
here?
he said something about, you said the age range thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I agree with you because when you say you know who you dealing with, I didn't learn. First of all, it's a terrible thing when the father is not in the daughter's life.
Mhm.
I grew up without a father, so it's a lot of things that I did not know when it came to men, right?
Wait. Let me ask you a question. At what point did you hold your parent accountable for that?
You did.
Always did.
Okay, then that's cool.
Always did. Never had a problem speaking on it. But what I will sit here and say,
You got to hold both of your parents accountable. This is a team sport.
I absolutely held
Because
my
you know
mama
what the
accountable for
thing
as
about
well.
it is, if I have a kid out of wedlock and I don't pay, you know what happens? I go to jail.
Yeah.
Fact. See, the thing, no, listen. The thing about men is that we understand that regardless of the decision that we make, we always gonna be held accountable by society. Don't matter if you hold us accountable. Listen, you know how many shelters that there are for men that have domestic abuse? Do you know how many men don't even report domestic abuse because they just gotta take it? They just gotta take that L. That's the nature of a guy. We understand, right or wrong, good or bad, that whatever decision that we make is on us. Y'all know that y'all gonna be able to find another simp to come and pick you up and off your bum when you made a mistake because now I'm better. I'm a good woman. I got my life together. I went and got my nursing degree. You know, I'm an esthetician. All this shit. No. Let's be fair. All of a sudden, now I don't want to talk to a guy that make less than
Can't
me.
grow.
All of this other shit. Like somehow I buried my past. I moved from Detroit to Atlanta to Houston and back to Detroit, and now I'm a new woman. Nobody want to hear. No. That's the.
No, I'm not mad at him for what he's saying right now.
I'm a fixed black woman starter kit. I got me a Nissan Altima. I don't got no fucking insurance. The bumper is hanging off the back. All of that shit, right?
Does the Nissan?
Absolutely.
Hey, wait, I have a serious question. Hold on, I have a very serious question.
Because I mean, we
Does
gonna get
the-
some bigger,
does
but let's
the-
get for real.
Does the Nissan Altima have the eyelashes on it? Because I love
It
when the car.
does.
I
And
love when the cars
They
have
got the
the
eyelashes
Oh,
and
I
they
love
got the
Oh,
sparkly
does
steering
it
wheel.
have the furry steering wheel? Those are
Yeah,
my
it got all
favorites.
of that shit.
Oh, those girls look like they have good coochie. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about this real quick.
Hold
No,
on, Randy.
what?
She was about to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was
Okay.
saying
Oh,
about
I
as
wanna
far
talk about the good coochie girls.
you was so silly now.
CNA.
I said as far as like the age thing go and just not knowing
Coochie now
better.
available.
That's what I love myself for how far I've come and who I am now. Because the cards that I was dealt, I was meant to fail, and I did not.
No.
There were so many hills that I had to climb to get to where I am now, and I'm still not where I want to be. But I'm just proud of myself because I was not meant to win at all. Like literally, I got into a relationship young with I have 3 children. My oldest 2 have the same father, and then my youngest has her own dad, right? So I got pregnant with my son when I was 17. I had him when I was 18. Then turned around, and then had another baby at 19.
And what about
And then my third child came in my 21st year of life. So by the time I was 21, I had 3 kids, and they was all in diapers. That shambles. When I say how, you get what I'm saying? But I worked 3 jobs. I took care of my kids. I did what I was supposed to do. I never relied on the government. The only thing that the government did for me, honestly, was pay for the births of my children because I didn't have insurance. You get what I'm saying? I was working temp jobs. They didn't offer that. But I tried to do everything the right way. Once I figured out they're not helping. You get what I'm saying?
Can I dive deeper into your story a little bit? Do you mind if I do
No,
that?
go ahead.
The other part that really is, I guess not necessarily, that kind of is heartbreaking for me because when I look at women that didn't grow up in 2-parent households and didn't have access to their father regularly, you could tell the difference. When I first met Crystal, the first story that she told me, y'all, it literally broke my heart. Crystal was supposed to be in Atlanta in law school. She didn't have that support. She didn't have the people that could have helped her navigate what that looks like. And even if the crazy thing about that is, even if you do come from a 2-parent household, if you don't have the family or the resources or the counselors that's gonna pour into you and teach you how to navigate those waters and navigate that road, it's gonna be difficult. So not only was the education situation set up for her to win, but because how life was set up, it wasn't set up for her to win. It was like right there. Imagine one of your biggest goals, your biggest dreams is right there. You can almost touch it. But because your circumstances and how your life is set up, it's literally just like, you can't get there.
Listen.
Hey, look, I want to touch on that only because it's a vulnerable conversation, and we might as well have it of why I even chose to do that even further of being a stepfather, right? So I found out I was adopted, right? I had to find out at 17. My birth mother was a crackhead. She had 8 kids before me. My mother was a nurse. She literally went in there and said, yo, I need to get rid of this baby because nobody don't want it. I'm ready to get rid of it. And then at that point, right, my mother and my father, right, the ones that I know today, my mother and my father, they wanted a child. My mom had a tooth tied. She already had 3 kids prior. She wasn't planning on having no more children. She fell in love with this man, the man that came in there and took care of all 3 of my siblings. They're like 13, 14 flat. And he walked in there as a man. And that's what she wanted to do for him because she knew he wanted his own child.
Yeah.
So boom, she had that conversation with my father and said, yo, we need to adopt that little boy. You know what I mean? Literally from birth, I'm talking about going through withdrawals, keeping people up for the first 6 months of my life, and just seeing everybody take to me and seeing that it was nothing but love. But because I knew I wouldn't even been here if she would have made that decision, or if he would have made that decision, like, nah, fuck this little dude. We don't want him. Well, I want to have my own kid. If I can't have my own kid, it's it out. But he chose to be a stepfather from literally in the worst situations with the worst type of child. You know what I'm saying? The worst type of child. He ain't just like, oh man, let me just I wouldn't be here today. Wouldn't have created this and that. Wouldn't have made millions. Wouldn't have been, this influential. Wouldn't even now, as I'm looking at my son who almost had the same situation where her baby father said, yo, if you want me to watch this child while you go to work, you're gonna have to pay me child support. That's some bum ass nigga shit, right? Just seeing that, I'm like, yo, watch what I do.
I think that's dope, right? And I can't speak to you because I know you personally, so I can't speak negative. And congratulations to you on your growth and everything that you've accomplished. But in reality, like, fuck these kids. Nobody, thank you.
Nobody
Fuck
cares.
these. Nobody cares about individual stories. Everybody got their own trauma that they done been through and issues that had happened in their life. And
I care.
At the end of the day,
And the stepdaddy
no.
care.
It is
We coming back to.
You can't.
Let me tell you something. You know what I seen just at the end of the day, it comes back to the original core of the conversation of, because see, y'all looking at it from a selfish perspective about how it's affecting you. When that last episode dropped from last season, if you go through the comments and you look at them, for every one of y'all, it's 50 dudes that said, I did it, I will never do it again. I hated it. I will never do it again. It was one of the worst things that I could have ever did in my life.
Okay.
To ever become a step crash dummy.
Okay, so let's have a
So
conversation.
we don't talk about that other side. We only talk about the success story.
No, let's
How about-
let's talk about it, because even in those success
It's
stories,
choices.
even in
Like you
those
said.
success stories, it's difficult, and that's the conversation I do want to have. I don't necessarily want to stay on the stepdads being whatever. I do want to have the conversation of the ups and downs of a blended family,
because it's work.
Because
it's work.
it is real work.
It's not
as
easy.
a
It's not.
woman that has been a stepmother for 6 years now, nearly 7 years. It's difficult at times, especially when all of the adults involved are not mature. It's difficult when the kids start hitting puberty and they start going through what they're going through. But if we being a bean, the kid that I actually carry be giving me hell too. So I don't know if being a stepmama is hard or just being a parent period is hard, because that 4-year-old got hands and be working me. Okay,
Can I tell you how I knew I was supposed to be a stepdad?
tell me how you knew you wasn't supposed to be a stepdad.
Bam.
Now wait, is it gonna be a lie or is it gonna be the truth?
No. I keep it. Okay, this is why you should stay with your kids if you would do it. I'll never forget laying over this poverty-stricken girl house. We on the couch.
Poverty-stricken girl.
Definitely.
Okay. But you were laying up with her. So back to not being. Hold on.
Let him tell the story, Rand.
Back to not being a homeless shelter. It sounds like you were in the homeless shelter, nigga.
Yeah, I was in the house.
You was getting it in.
Hold on, let him tell the story.
Hold on. I'm laying on and her son at the time. He's 4. He come over. Right in the face.
As he should have.
Okay.
Hoe ass nigga.
Listen. So I look up at her, she laughs, and I look at him.
Because it was funny.
Hold on. She laughs and he laughs. I'm saying, you ain't gonna do nothing?
No.
Like, no. Okay, cool. I had a stepdad too. You don't touch nobody else's food, right?
Okay. Oh, no.
The next morning. Hold on.
Oh, you spent the night.
Hold on. Wait. The
You
next
stayed the
morning.
night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
After he rocked your
Okay.
shit,
You
girl.
think I got
Okay.
hit for free?
So he rocked your shit. You stayed in his house?
He hit me, I hit his mama. Who worked?
Woo!
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you, I hit him too while you. So the morning, I get up, phone for the lead, I go to the bathroom, pee all over the floor. I go wake
You
up.
look like you be peeing
Yeah,
on
look,
toilets.
I go wake up. Hey. You know little Johnny, he just pissed all over the floor. No, he didn't. You for real? Like, yeah. Got up, tearing his ass up. I was walking out the door. That's why you should stay in your kid's life. I might be the stepdad.
She fell for that shit.
I might be the
No,
stepdad.
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why she was a goofy.
He is wild.
She was
That's
a goofy, and
ridiculous.
she was goofy as fuck, because that strong smelling ass piss on the floor in that bathroom smelled like ammonia. Did not come out no fucking toddler. Girl, that made me drink milk and water. You thought that restaurant that you was smelling on the floor was from your kid?
She had me in the house. How small do you think she was?
How small?
How smart.
How smart?
He from
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't.
Basically, he said he
Listen,
blatantly saying
Every
he's not
ounce
a
of
good decision.
when he said that, every ounce of blackness left. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me, sir. What did you say?
I go over there periodically on food stamp day. Can you blame me? I had Rotel over there.
You are
You said he
ridiculous.
was married.
I am married now.
So you just said you go over there periodically.
No, I said I did.
No, you said I go
You
over
said it
there.
as impressive.
Cut the camera.
It's okay. It's a safe space. It's a safe
Clip
space.
it out.
It's a safe space. So wait, we talked briefly about the high.
Something wrong with him, man.
We leaving all that shit in.
Y'all cut the camera.
We talked briefly about the highs and the lows of blended families. For those that actually come from or have been a part of a blended family, what are some of the highs and the lows that you've experienced? And I shall go first. One of my lows was really just trying to get myself and my kid's mom on the same page. because there was a history there, it was difficult. Why did I feel like it was on me? Because I feel like the woman creates the temperature in the household. If it's my house, it's mother to mother. I was raised dumb mama, dumb baby. So when them kids are at my house, I'm the mama. I'm helping. I'm doing A, B, C, and D. So it was important for her to get on the same page so we can mother these kids properly the same way. Let me know what you're doing at your house so I can mirror that at my house. They go to bed at 9 o'clock at your house. They got to go to bed at 9 o'clock at my house. They having a 3-course meal at your house, including 2 veggies. Cool. Me too, baby. So that was hard because even when you dealing with somebody that's similar to you that you like, you still have difficulties trying to figure out how to navigate and work together. I was dealing with somebody who was on the opposite page of me, used to sleep with my man. That's all. Hold on now. You know what his nut face look like. That's a little bit different. You feel me?
Nah, that's real.
No, dead ass. You know what?
Popping, right?
Yeah, you feel me? Like, that's a little bit difficult. Once I was able to put my own ego aside and say, okay, cool, this is what I signed up for. I said I was with him and his kids. Let's figure this out. We was able to work together and figure it out. We have a book together called Co-Parent Like a Boss. And we still hit our speed bumps sometimes because we were raised very differently. I come from a 2-parent household who my mom and dad have been together for 43 years. She comes from a single parent household. Her mom had her when I think she was like 15 or something like that. It's very different. So we had to do the work to get on the same page, and we did it, and we're constantly doing it. What are some of the ups and downs you guys may have faced in your blended families?
When my stepdad, I had a problem with thoughts because he wasn't my stepdad.
What you mean? Because they weren't married?
But I just nigga with my dad, and so I like.
See what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
So you don't like stepdaddies because you was a badass stepkid.
gave him a hard time.
How old was
purposely.
you when he came in your life?
I knew him since I can remember, bro. But I'm just saying, it's like some people who you naturally just don't get along with. We just didn't like it. And y'all don't never take the kid and say, okay, maybe he just don't get along with this person.
Yeah. No.
And so that was difficult, but the
Right.
good part, I used to steal his shoes. Yeah, we used to wear them to school. So that was cool.
My son do that too.
But y'all negotiating with another man?
Okay, now let's talk about that.
That shit is crazy.
So the blended families thing, right? So for the first couple of years, everything's smooth. You know what I mean? Because he out the picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't even want to slide in.
Right.
Until he did. Until
Right.
he found out who I was. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You see me on social media and shit. Now it's like, hold on, that's the nigga that raised my
Is.
You feel me? So boom. Now he want to oppose his, you know what I'm saying, the superiority.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's your child.
Right.
So now, obviously I'm in a, road in a hard place. I'm like, cool, how this happened? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna let this happen?
Yeah.
Or are we? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It was to the point where I'm like, all right, y'all trying to work it out, but it was the same issues that a reason why they separated.
Right.
You know,
Disrespectful,
He
can't
wanted to talk
communicate.
loud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I ain't even know that bullshit. You
So
ain't gonna
listen,
handle. You can
That was
have
my
enough.
same thing. Girl, you about to sit here yelling at my man. What is we can fight?
You feel me? And I'm like, listen, this ain't even happening. Like, listen, that might be your kid with her,
I yell at him.
but your whole conversations, your communications, everything, you take that with me.
Yeah.
You take that with me now because I'm the father in your child life. When you
Yeah.
get-
Hell
So
no.
you
Oh,
finna
you
sit
got-
down,
yeah,
you talk to me. You talk
Yeah.
to me now.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I can't negotiate with
you
another
and-
man over his
and
kids.
choices.
Oh, not over my kid.
But that's
But
not
that
shit is wild. Like that's a rock and a hard
Is
place.
it his kid?
That is a rock and a hard place for me to have to negotiate with another. Somebody get her a mic, please. That's not my kid.
My
That's not my
stepkids is my
kid.
kid. That's
No, no, no.
Say
You
they
talking about it
choices.
from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
But that
From a,
Wait,
a
okay.
man and a woman
So
is two
wait.
different things.
Okay, so cool. Hold on. Let's have that conversation. Why?
The moment when that boy said, "Dad," because I earned
I
that.
don't care what
The moment he
that boy
said,
said.
"Daddy," I'm like, "Oh boy, you my son." You
I
my
don't
son.
care
At this
what
point,
that boy said.
we locked in.
What's up, OG Dirty?
That was good with your ruthless.
Yeah, well, everything's chill. Everything's Gucci. Everything's Gucci. Glad you could pull up for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, man. You know me, man. You always come over to support me, nigga. I'm on the way. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just going over this, stepdaddy thing. That's all,
Oh, that's understandable.
I think stepdaddies are valuable.
Oh, I agree with you.
It's like because it's kind of a thing, right? With most couples, they don't last, right? This is just as much as we want to make it work out. We have a kid and we have all these dreams. typically we're going to break the fuck up. And the single mother is now created, and then the father's separated from the family. And typically, in my opinion, most stepdads and biological dads work together in this as a team. I mean, the ones who are involved, right? If they're involved with the kids, they're going to, at some point have a conversation about, okay, what's the best route for this? How can we make this for the furtherance of the kids?
No, that's a fact. I agree with that. My thing about stepdaddies is it's a lot of pros, and then it's a little bitty cons. You know what I'm saying? You get, but that's always at the end. But they can be reconciled by the individual people. But that's something they got to work on themselves. It's something that they ain't gonna be able to learn from.
But what's the con? What do you think the cons are?
Not having the person not. Oh, let me say this the right way. The kid not thinking that the person is living up to their expectations because they're not their biological father. And most of that happens to the kids, bro, who are younger in life, you know what I'm saying, who don't understand and don't realize what's, you know what I'm saying, put in front of them in their life, you know what I'm saying, somebody who cares for them, somebody who, you know what I'm saying, directs them in the right direction. It's a lot of stuff to go along with that, but most of the time what I mean is those kids don't ever recognize it until those people get older. So most step kids, when they younger, they don't realize how beneficial it is to have a stepfather. But as they get older, they recognize it. So you might have some kids who spites their stepfather or their stepmother. But as their life go on and they get older and they have kids and they begin to live an adult life, they realize that this person gave them a lot of opportunity, gave them a lot of wisdom. You know what I mean? They have to look back on it, but some don't, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't reflect on themselves. They too stuck up with themselves. But that's what I see. I had a lot of friends, even family members that grew up with step parents, and they used to hate them. They used to give them hell, bro, when they was younger. But as they got older, bro, the respect level went up for them, bro, because they realized once they had kids and what they had to go through, what it takes to raise a kid, they had to give that respect to their stepdad or their stepmother for doing what they did, because they didn't have to do it.
Well,
but they did anyway.
We can agree that most kids are ignorant. So they don't know what's best for them as well, right? Even most kids don't even like their own parents, right? A lot of kids don't like their biological parents, right? Most families are divided, to keep it real. So we understand that kids, when it comes to at certain ages, because they want to do certain things and get away with stuff, they're always going to be a potential to be at odds with whether it's the biological parents or a step parent. So we understand that kids are not the best suited for judging what's good for them and what's not. They only see what they think, maybe going out with their friends or being out late or, doing what they think is best for them. So we can't really count that now. Do I count that as a con? I don't count that as a con to the stepdad, right? I count that as more of a pro to the stepdad, because he understands, most likely he's going with the understanding that most likely he's going to have to go through the bumps. You know what I mean? He's going to have to go with the bumps through these walls dealing with the baby mama and her kids, right? So if he sticks through that, of course, most likely he can. He's showing that he has a greater understanding of the greater good that could be brought here. So yeah, it could be a con to the kid, but a pro to the stepdad.
So
what's up, sir?
What's good, man? You said I was a pro?
Yes.
Man, what you just described sounded like a nightmare.
That's a whole.
Shit
That's
was
a
not
whole
on,
fact.
Well, I mean,
Nah, Rufus. So you gotta look at it, bro. When I say the con, bro, it's not that the kids or it's the stepdad have to recognize the con. It's just that they don't get recognized until later on in life. Again, you just a step. That goes for regular kids. If a regular kid who has a biological parent don't respect them, or they give them hell all the time and they don't listen to them, they don't take their guidance, you know what I mean, because they want to follow their own path, they usually don't realize, and that's the point I can give to you where me and you agree at later on in life. But that's the con of being a stepfather, though, because most of those kids, bro, they don't see you as that fatherly figure. They just look at you as somebody who was smashing their parent. You know what I'm saying? Either mother or father. They don't get that until later on in life. You know what I'm saying? After they see all the stuff you instilled in them, work ethic. Hold on, real quick, I'm trying to roll this. I'm dropping weed everywhere. Work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Character, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff that a stepfather can build or a stepmother can build into a young person, you know what I'm saying? By giving them direction in the right path and the right guidance, you know what I'm saying? They don't see that as a young kid, as a young person.
right.
One thing they see is a person, bro, who's probably hating on them. You know what I'm saying? But as they get older, again, them kids and shit change their life, bro. When they realize, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga, this is mine. But I had a nigga that took me to school every goddamn day. When I got in trouble, the nigga didn't just beat the shit out of me. Nigga sat down and talked to me. You know what I'm saying? But then I still got in trouble. He had to lay down the discipline. Some people didn't have none of this stuff growing up, sir. Some people didn't have a parent. Some people had one parent and they didn't have the parent wasn't on the job, basically. You know what I'm saying? To guide them in a certain way. So they came up dysfunctional.
So, well, that once again, right? That is also a bad myth, a bad dispel when we're talking about how a kid's outcome is, right? But to address your first part of your point is the con part, right?
You got to roll that back. You got to tell me why first before you go into this con part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need you. Yeah, you know how you be doing, nigga. You want to nigga. Tell me what tell me, explain that, and then
Well,
we can get to the con part.
The numbers are the numbers, right?
Oh,
It
you
will
using numbers?
always be
Okay.
yes. It's always have been, and will always be. There's a certain amount of kids will be degenerates. They will be rebellious. They will have a more of a rebellious lifestyle, and then the majority will become average Americans. And then there's another minority, right? Which is there's some who make a lot of money, right? These numbers have never changed, ever. Maybe a tick or two, right? So, just like there's many cases of, and this talking point has been going around these in YouTube spaces that kids have a better chance with two parents. But if you go back in history, it's always been a small percentage, and still a small percentage, even with single mothers, of kids that have been degenerate. That's just the law of average, right? And there are kids going to come out going to want to do things that are against the rules, right? They want to take the shortcuts. And even in the hood, majority of black people, majority of black people become average and work jobs, go home, come back. 85%. That number is still intact. So the fact that one is saying that, single mothers, and because he didn't have this, LeBron James was a single mother. I mean, there's a lot of dudes who have succeeded under single mothers territory. So my point is, and I'm gonna land it here, the numbers don't lie, right? The numbers tell the story from the beginning to the end. It's always been a minority, majority, minority. Now to the con part, right? The cons is, once again, do stepdads have to is it a tough job in the beginning, more so because of especially if the kids were like, let's say between the ages 10 and 12 years old and their dad just left? Oh yeah, that's difficult. It's very difficult to come in and follow behind the real dad, right? But the truth of the matter is, what his obligation is to the mom, right? What he does for the kids on a financial level, helping the mom out through, her, I guess we'll say her life with the kids is very valuable to her and him. And that's all that really matters, right? What the kids go through, who cares, right? They're gonna be there because they ain't got enough money to go take care of themselves. And most likely the state has, delegate them to be with their mom. So yeah. The stepdad in his mind, he's probably most likely, it's all good. I'm going to be here no matter what because I love their mother. And whatever y'all throw at me as kids, I'm just going to bounce off me because I'm still going to pick you up from school. I'm still going to pay the bills. I'm going to make sure you have this house is ran financially in financial literacy so that we all can have what we have. And most likely he won't back down because he understands. So it's a pro to him because now he is showing great character. He was showing great, I would say he's been very valiant because instead of quitting and being weak, right, he's stepping to the plate and saying, you know what, this is only for time. They'll get it later.
Yeah, but you turned a con into a pro because of how you feel. You don't do that. And I talk to that point. I have no problem with it. The single parent household versus the two parent household, you did something that I wouldn't expect you to do. You said it's a YouTube talking point, and you went straight to the YouTube talking point. They try to pull out numbers and all type of shit on you, but not recognizing it doesn't matter about all that. What matters is if this is a single parent, and you said it yourself. You gave the example of LeBron James' mother. One thing that she did do was install what into him? Good character, bro.
No.
Yeah,
I have to agree with that.
Well, you have to agree with it because nigga ain't out here. He ain't out here being debaucherous, bro.
You can't. Let me say this for the record, and I want you guys. Maybe you never heard this before. You can't install good character in no fucking body. You can't. If a kid is a degenerate kid and he wants to go out and hang with gangs, right? Because we got him from the suburbs to the hood, right? If he just wants to, this is what I want to do. This is what I aspire to do. And you can tell him, no, that's not right to do. You need to be home. You go to school, all the things that kids supposed to do. You can't make them do that. You can't install it in them, right? Their inspiration comes from within them, not you. Parents, we're just advisors and we give the best advice possible. And then we lay rules and structure down to fall in. And hopefully these kids comply with this. That is, that's a hope. Now, if the kids want to buck, they want to run away, because kids can run away from home, right? Nothing you can do about it. You can get mad all you want to, but what you gonna do when the police bring them back? Hey, your kid ran away from home. Now you can't beat them. You're not gonna delete them. So all you're gonna do is try to have the conversation to figure out, okay, how can we do this better? So you can't make you. I mean, I think this is where a lot of parents go wrong, particularly baby mamas. This is why I agree with you on this. Right? They try to, make the kid be feminine or have to think feminine like them, or have a reaction like them, like they should react, when the child is his own individual, his own autonomy, and has their own thoughts. And now I have a daughter, and her mom tells her all the right things to do, clean your room, do this thing. And my daughter, because my daughter kind of grew a few more inches over her mom, she's bigger than her mom now. She's like, why? Why you want me to do that? I'm not doing that. So I have to come in and, enforce. But the thing of it is, and I asked my daughter, why you just don't listen to your mom? Why can't you just clean your room? She said, Dad kind of don't want to listen to her. So this thing of forcing somebody to be good character doesn't exist.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you switched it to forcing and making, but it's installing, sir, to put forth something. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do it or not, but you installing it is putting it out there in their face. Teaching your kid how to be cleanly, and they don't want to be clean, again, that's their choice. But you still have to show them what clean is, sir. you still have to show them the good things about being clean. You don't get bumps every goddamn well. You smell fresh. You look good. You see what I'm saying? That'll be a part of something they can use as a character. It's something that they can take on in life. When people are not shown that, then they don't display that. So they walk around here, nigga, like most people do in America, bro, not wearing the same goddamn drawers, bro, for a week, not taking a bath because they don't know what cleanliness is. They think cleanliness is when they smell themselves, my good sir. That's not cleanliness.
I'm thinking
but if you install that into them when they're younger and they understand, well, I have to be clean. This is something that will be a part of my character, something that I can be proud of, something I can take on for the rest of my life, and then do that for my kids. That's something that you were installing and not making them do it, bro. Because again, like you said, to your point with your daughter, why do you think your daughter don't want to clean up the room? Because her mother said it? No, bro. She just don't want to clean up the room. It's basically, she like my nephew, she want to be lazy.
Okay. Right?
So to show him what being lazy is, you know what? Cool. Leave your room dirty. But this is what I'm going to do. When you ask me, hey, I'm going to have people, bring them on over here. Let them see your dirty ass. Let them see what you really are. And then the nigga start cleaning the fuck up. When he start realizing, like, you see the rest of this goddamn house? You see when you walk in your daddy house, you see that motherfucker clean? Your shit is the only shit that's dirty. The only one smelling like old pizza and dirty feet. Bro, this is you. This is nobody else. They get up every day when they don't want to. When they ask you to wash them dishes and you don't wash them because they don't want their house stinking, guess what they get up and do? They wash the dishes. They don't argue with you, son. They just get it done. But you, on the other hand, wants to walk around here being this type of person. Well, this is not what they installing in you. What they installing in you is cleanliness. A person that's that can prepare himself for a date. You ain't got that. What you want to do is lay up all goddamn. You made these choices. So when you walk around smelling like feet and old pizza and you looking dirty and shit, don't look back at us, nigga, like we the one who didn't try to get you to do this. You chose not to do it. So I get when you saying a person has the choice. Of course they got the choice, but you as a parent should be that person that installed that into them. Well, they could take it or not, but you still have to be the person. You're not making them do anything.
I think you're
not forcing them to do anything.
But I think you're what's the word I'm looking for? I think you're using the wrong word, because the word you're using is kind of the same word I'm using. Installing, like when you install an engine in the car, that means you put that engine in there with all the thing, right? You install, when you're installing, that means you're putting something in. That means you're, making that person's character what it is. What I'm saying is people don't install shit. You can advise, right? Difference, right? We give a kid advice. And we try to show them the best way to be efficient in the society that we're in. It's better to be clean. It's better. This is better. We'll make your bed up and get up and brush your teeth so that this and this and that. But we can only convey the message to them. So I'm not.
So Ruthless, real quick. So when you're doing that, you don't have like say like if you got your kid and you're like, hey, at 7 o'clock, you need to brush your teeth. Pretty much like standards. Isn't that kind of installing if you're doing stuff like that?
No, you're just creating structure. Difference.
Structure is installing though to a certain extent, right?
No, installing is putting something in. Creating structure is rules that you follow. If you break them, then there's consequences. Difference, right? It's kind of negotiating. Hey, this is the way we live around here. This is the way we do things. You're going to wake up in the morning. You're going to make your bed up. You're going to fold your clothes. You're going to put your clothes up off the floor. Then you're going to go in. You're going to brush your teeth. Whatever the structure you have for them, right? In regards as you're giving them the best, are you trying to train them to be this type or live this type of way? Now, if that
hold on, you said train.
Yeah,
you said train them.
That's
go on and give my man Do Dirty the point. He don't want this. It's installing.
Installing and training is not the same word.
Yeah, but
That's how it works.
trainers repeating the same thing over and over again to
But
somebody.
you was saying advising earlier. And now you don't went to training. You don't talked about structure.
So when you're advising someone, you're like you as parents, we're advisors, right? Our instructors, right? We try to, and so when the kid is born, we then put them on the training wheels, basically, to show them the best way to be efficient, et cetera, et cetera. What's in that child, his heart, his mind, the way he thinks, this is developed within his own self, right? Who he wants to be, right? Like, for example, when I went to high school, most niggas dress like bummy, right? They don't really care about their clothes. Me, I'm fly. My shit got to be color coordinated. Just who I was, right? Even though my mama was the opposite, right? Or the way my dad did things was different. So I am different than most of my family members, because even though we grew up in the same house, and I was taught this or trained, I would say, to be a certain way, I went with it because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get a whooping. But after I got to a certain point, I just did it my way. Now, I'm not going to say that kids don't take what their instructions their parents put down, like to train them to be, and say, this is, I agree with this. I think this is like being clean, right? Or clean, or brushing my teeth, right? I don't want smelly breath, right? All these things, right? We do take our parents, some of the things they do tell us, we take it and we imply it and say, okay, this is dad, mom, they was right on this. But then there's other things, right? Who my friends are going to be, how I'm going to be talking to people, or how I'm going to live my life. This is on me, right? And I'm a take, and they're going to tell me that too, but I'm going to throw away what I don't agree with, and I'm going to take what I do agree with. That's my point, right? This is all I'm saying. The kids even if you teach them and tell them to be clean, now they could be like, I ain't brushing my teeth. I'm dirty. I ain't gonna shave. None of that. Right? It's a very few. It's not a minority. I mean, it's not a majority, but it's a minority that they buck against the system. So we do understand that kids are rebellious. So to agree, we have to agree that kids, at times can be rebellious, and we hope that they follow our ways, so that they can be, because we have more experience than them, right? So that they can maybe follow our guides and be better, which most times, most kids, they listen and then they don't listen, right? So it's 50-50, 60-40, sometimes 70-30, right? So we can agree with that. So back to the stepfather point, though. I think stepfathers are valuable and important. Now, I know, Jerk, you might disagree with this, right? So we're gonna hear what Anton has to say about it, and then we're gonna have a little small debate about why I'm right and you guys are wrong.
This nigga is crazy. The crazy part about this nigga, me and you agree on the goddamn same thing. You want to argue me that, okay? Because I said, well, I got that thing.
But Ruthless, so you're saying valuable from the perspective of what? The male and the female?
I'm gonna show you after you hear
it. Okay.
I'm gonna break it down to you.
Because you're never gonna be able to detach from each other.
Dumb.
Yeah. Step crash dummies.
Step crash dummies is what he likes to call them. Thanks for the correction. Thank you.
Hate it all.
Anton, can we talk about
even after rewatching it?
That's an upgrade.
You hated it even after rewatching it?
Yes, because I don't agree with it.
Well, okay, let's talk about the foundation of what he believes, and we'll talk about what we don't agree with. Anton, why don't you like men being stepfathers?
I don't think that it's a benefit. First of all, if you just frame it, right, and you say, okay, well, this guy, he took care of his business his whole life, and he did the right thing, and he didn't have any children out of wedlock, and he literally had the ability to pick and choose anybody that he wants, right? Why would he go and choose to take care of another man's kid who is at some point going to say, you're not my daddy? Like, why would he ever do that, right? First of all, it removes the responsibility from the woman from choosing the guy that she's supposed to be with in the first place. Because most women have skipped over the man that she was supposed to be with.
Right.
Most of them, right? And then on top of that, you then have to go back and forth with another dude that's going to always be tied to her through that kid. Because essentially, that is marriage.
Right.
Right? You're
Having a baby with
married.
somebody?
Yeah, you're married to that woman through the kid because you're never gonna be able to detach from each other.
What happens if the daddy not around? Because a
What
lot of
do
these
you mean,
niggas
what
be
happens?
leaving.
She need to go back to her baby daddy.
But then he left.
Well then she gotta wait because that shouldn't be somebody else's. But here,
Okay. So do you guys understand what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, do you hear that? Anybody
Yes,
step
sir.
up? Okay. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with it.
Give me a second, bro.
Okay. So I don't agree with it. So I'm gonna hear, but before I'm gonna, because Joe, you haven't talked much. I'm gonna let you go ahead and lay your context down on why you agree with what he said and what made you come to this conclusion even before you listen to this video. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll just say I agree with his position because, you know, if you're stepping into that dynamic, it's just a con. You know, it is what it is because you're taking on a financial burden. Then even when you're dealing with the dynamics with the kids, you know, I like what Do Dirty was laying out earlier. It's like, man, and even kind of what you were saying earlier, kids are somewhat rebellious to their own parents. So just imagine if you're like a third party coming into that situation and they already got some resentment. So now they kind of coming at you. Oh, you ain't my daddy. I ain't got to listen to you. So I just think off the rip, it's just a tough situation to go into. But I do see what you guys are talking about as far as like a stepdad being valuable from like the stepmom and, you know, even the kids like Do Dirty laid out. They're valuable to the extent that, you know, typically that guy's going to come in there and pull his weight as far as financial, give some direction and, you know, even some tough love and stuff. So they'll be valuable from that perspective. But the question I would ask is like, is the step family valuable? Because we could all agree like the man coming into that picture is valuable, but I don't think the step family would be that valuable to a stepfather. Just looking at it from a financial perspective and all the headaches he's got to kind of deal with. Because even like I know myself, if my son was in a situation, say the guy, we had disagreements on how to raise him, I'm gonna apply some pressure to that dude. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't see how a guy would like that situation to begin with.
Okay, so this is where I'm just going to have to take you to school on this one. So do you agree that men in day-to-day life learn to work with each other even though we're very different and come from different backgrounds?
Yeah, I mean, we'll learn how to work with each other.
You know, we do it all the time, right? On I say on a surface level.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so why would you not think? Let's just say I met this woman. You know, we've been dating for like 6 months, and I'm just like, okay, this is the love of my life. I'm really feeling her. I'm not going to judge her because she has kids. And then at 6 months more, I say, okay, I really want to work this out with you. And she says, well, you know, the father's active in the life, so I would like y'all to have a sit down, and then the sit down gets set up that me and you can't have a conversation about, you know, how we're going to make this work. You can't see us working that out.
I mean, I could see people working it out, but the stepdad would literally have to submit to that.
No,
so he's submitting to all that.
No,
and I'm just not a dude that would submit.
Yes, you would, right? For the furtherance of the kids, right? For the kids, right? Because
me being a stepdaddy, that's what I'm saying.
No. Let's say you're the original dad, right? Let's say you're the original dad, and these are your kids. You see them on the weekends, whatever. Y'all have a little setup. She now has a new boyfriend, and she says, like, I want you to meet him because I don't want no problems. I just want we all get understanding, and y'all have a meetup, right? You come over, I guess, get your kids one day, and he steps out the side, saying, introduces himself, shakes your hand, you shake his hand, and you guys have a conversation, right? You don't think you could work that out?
Like I said, I'll be cordial, but there's nothing really to work out because, like I said, my wife would know how I operate, so it'll be no like discussions. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to disrespect you and say, oh, well, you know, I want to this to your kids or that to your kids. I'm just going to let you know here, I'm just here playing a surface level role. Right? I am, you know, whatever your agreement that you and her have with your kids, I know, and by no means you're going to disrespect that. You cannot see that as being, you know, a gentleman.
Oh no, if you approach like that, then definitely, yeah, that would be a start. But you're submitting. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're cool with submitting, then hey, I have no issue with that.
No, I'm not submitting.
Bow down, nigga.
I'm not submitting. No. You see, and that is I think not a good way of looking at it. Me, I love the mother, but I don't love the kids. But I respect the relationship you have between the mother and you. And I understand that you have the rules for your kids and you two co-parent the kids in an efficient manner. And I'm just letting you know is that I'm here. I'm just introducing myself to let you know I'm not going to do anything to disrespect the co-parenting that you and her have going on. How would you see that me submitting? All I'm doing is letting you know, understand that everything's good. I'm going to continue to be with her. And, you know, if she needs help with some other things, run errands or watch the kids for the weekend or a weekday while she go do something, or if you need me, you know, to, you know, make sure that the kids are ready because you're coming to get them because she's out doing something, I'm going to be totally on board with y'all co-parenting situation. So how could you not say that that's good?
Because right, it sounds good, but I'm gonna throw you a scenario. So say like you and the kid have like you're correcting them about something because you're the man of the house, right? Regardless, and the kid back talks you and cusses you out. It gets in your face. How are you gonna handle that situation?
I'm gonna ask the kid, you know, to calm down and talk to me in a respectful manner. If not, if you do not do this, then I'm going to have a conversation with your dad, and then I'm sure you're going to come in and check him, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I'll definitely check Mike.
See how easy that is?
But say he ramps up, he's still in your face, and my man done pushed you.
I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away and make the phone call and have you pull up.
So say the mom comes in there and she's like, Ruthless, what did you do to my kid to get him worked up like this?
Well, I told him to take the trash out, and he was like, don't tell me what to do. And I said, this is your chores. This is what your mom told me that you were supposed to do. And I would just convey the message. Well, you're not my dad. Don't tell me to take the trash out. Now, if he says it like that, then I'm like, all right, I'll back off. But now if he gets in my face, like, you're not my dad. Don't tell me to take the trash out. Don't this, don't that. Right? Then I'm going to say, well, you know, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll have to call your dad and have him tell you. How's that? Is that better?
Okay.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Like, I don't have, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, unless he puts his hands on me, that's different, right? But if he's telling me, you know, if he's telling me he doesn't want me to hear it from me, coming from me, I'm going to put you on the phone so you can tell him.
So what happened if they did put their hands on you?
They put my hands on me. Well, I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to subdue him, right? I'm gonna subdue him. Boom, lock back, put him in a headlock or something just to calm him down, right?
What?
Yeah, calm it down.
How you gonna put hands, bro? What are we doing here, bro? I thought we supposed to be.
No, he asked me if the kids put his hands on me or attempts to put his hands on me. I'm then going to move in a way to subdue him, just wrap him up, something to protect myself, right? Now, depending on what age he is. Now, if he's 5 or 6 years old, you know, that's easy money, right? But if he's 10, or 12 years old, I'm going to have to wrap him up, right? I'm going to have to, you know what I mean? Because I have a little power. I'm just going to, I'm not going to return blows, right? I'm not going to return blow. I'm not going to square off. But I'm far advanced than him. So I'm just going to move in a way where I can wrap him up. And okay, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. And then I'm getting on the phone to dad right now. Yeah, look, I got your son right because he's been attacking me, right? He's attacking me, and I need you to tell him to calm down. But right now I'm holding him because I'm not going to let him assault me either. Because I'm not going to call the police on him, right? Right? I'm not going to call the cops. I'm just going to make sure I wrap him up. Cop strong. Yeah, little nigga, I got a little strength. You know what I mean? I'm 227, so I can hold something. You know what I'm saying? but I'm not going to overdo it. I know exactly how much pressure to apply. Well, you know what I mean? Where I'm not going to bruise him. I'm just going to, and then he could go like wiggling, and I'm saying either you calm down right now, or we're going to wait till your dad gets here. Which one you want to do it? And then he calms down. I let him go to your room till your dad get here, and you, your dad, and your mom can have the conversation. And then I'll have a conversation with the dad, and we all have a conversation. But see, this is my mindset going in. That very rarely happens. We know that through numbers, statistics.
What that type of situation? I know two people that kind of happened to. That's why I was asking them questions.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm trying to figure out, nigga, what is going on here, bro. What? See, look, you already know me. I ain't playing that type of shit. I done told you how I did my nephew. Yeah, but I'm gonna beat your ass up, straight up, nigga. You better not. You gonna hear. First of all, you're gonna hear my voice, boy, and you're gonna understand that I ain't trying to play no games with you, playboy. You might want to go ahead and sit it on down, and do what I tell you to do. Me and your daddy can have it out in this front yard, and I will beat your daddy up in front of you. But what I'm saying is, he should already know if a kid is being disrespectful, bro, and you a grown up and you teaching his kid the values of life, bro, then he should understand when he come over there after you done whooped his ass, he should come over there and do the same fucking thing. Whoop his ass, because he should have been telling his son, you listen to him. Nigga, when you over here, you do what as I say, right? When you over here, you need to do as he say. He don't post again. You keep on saying that y'all supposed to work together, but you're not working together, sir. If you're going to go through all this and then have a conversation, the conversation don't need to be had between grown folks. You making it seem like this little kid, bro, is 96 years old. Like this nigga got thoughts, plans, and made millions. No, sir, you coming out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? You need to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm supposed to be the person, again, with the right values and the right character to guide you in the right place.
But I believe that may, OJ Dirty, your way may be effective for you in your time, real time, right? I'm not disputing that. But my way is effective as well, right? I don't have to, a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, I don't have to really, it's not going to take me too much energy to wrap him up and, contain him. That's pretty easy, right? He's not really, he's a threat, but he's not a extreme threat that I feel like my life is a danger. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do a little something just to calm him down. But I understand that, there is a way that I can resolve this, right, and still keep my relationship intact with the dad and the mom, because I do love him. I love the mom, and she means the world to me. She means the world to me, and maybe her son is jealous of me. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that, maybe he thinks I'm a replacement, whatever the case may be. But I'm a situational awareness here. I'm going to use the best practical outcome, and violence is as far as I'm not going to beat him down. I'm not going to put my hands on him like that to then potentially go to jail or get charges pressed on me. Also, I'm not going to disrespect the dad like that, because I do believe and will have to lean on that the dad has been telling that, hey, when you're at the house, you need to be respectful. So I'm believing he's acting on his own, his own recognizance. So once again, right, I'm just going to wrap him up. I'm very good at this wrap-up thing, the wrap-up game, you know what I mean? And calm him down. Calm him down. Make the phone call. Simple, right? It's like simple. Well,
I'll give you props, man. You handle it well, but I'm just saying, like, how is that shit valuable? That's why, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a couple people that these situations happen to. That's why I was asking questions. I was like, man, how did you man, you ain't leave after that? Because I was just shocked.
So look, check this out. Check this out. I know I'm like you. I know the same fucking situation. Same nigga did the same thing Rufus did. Try to put all that goddamn respect on the goddamn fatherhood by, you know what I'm saying, respecting the father, not doing this to his kid. Came out wrong for the nigga because again, you dealing with somebody, bro, again, that might not be on the same mind frame as you. And this is what goes back to my first point, like I was telling you, because these kids regret, bro, that even if they have a father that's not in the house, he might be that nigga, bro, that's telling them, no, nobody better not ever touch you. You my motherfucking kid and all this dumb shit. And then the next thing you know, when he come over there, he being disrebellious to you. But in real life, bro, you the one taking care of him. So again, that's the person that's going to wait till later on in life to be like, man, my real daddy ain't shit. Stepdaddy was the best thing ever happened to me. That nigga took me to my first football game. He gave me my cleats. He installed all this good stuff for me. They say all the good stuff, but when he was in, it was bad because they were feeling a certain type of way. That's why you don't have those conversations with a kid. You know, if your wife and her ex-husband or her ex-boyfriend got to sit down at a table, bro, and speak like gentlemen and speak like grown folks and understand what boundaries and rules are. That's what you set for yourselves. You don't set that and let a kid come in there and make an opinion on something.
No, I never said that.
But basically that's what you're doing, bro, because you letting the kid make the stupid ass decision, and then at the same time you and the father ain't on the same wavelength. Because he's supposed to be. You basically are letting the kid put a friction in between y'all because y'all two supposed to be on the same wavelength. If you saying that he's telling his kid not to disrespect you, if you telling him not to disrespect him, why he's at home and he's not at his house, like I don't want you to disrespect him, like you said, and you don't do it over here, so don't do it over there. But he do it over there. What you expect to happen? You to get a call every time, or do you suspect the same thing in your mind, which you know is discipline should be happening over there? You might don't beat your kids. Like I ain't saying like, you know what I mean? When I say beat them, I ain't talking about punch them in the face, slang them across the floor and stuff. I'm just talking about a regular whooping. That's what we grew up on. Regular whoopings. Sometimes you need them. But you sitting here telling me that the dude that you supposed to be parenting with don't understand that you don't like whoopings, you like instructions. You like stuff to be done a certain way. You want them to sit down. So if you tell this man, hey man, I don't want you beating on him, but what I don't mind you doing is what they doing on TikTok now, the Drew Hills. I don't mind you having him doing 30 minutes of Drew Hills or 30 minutes of exercising, or you know what I'm saying? I want you to have a talk with him before you know what I'm saying? Just don't go to beating him up. You and him had that conversation, then guess what's gonna happen with that kid? He's gonna get the right direction because he's gonna be following the same thing that he followed at your house around you. And he's gonna be following the same thing around this man. Now you have two people inside of his life that's on the same page.
Okay.
And you can leave a woman out of it because she ain't really got nothing to do with it when it comes, because she's supposed to be following you, sir. That's your woman. So what you tell her is what you tell her, but what you and this man can understand is y'all gotta be on the same wavelength when you parenting these kids. You gotta understand.
But I agree with y'all. But do y'all think that will be the majority of fathers that could like work with each other on that, or the minority?
Yeah, I'm gonna say minority.
I'm gonna
say minority because I don't think it's a lot of them niggas that's able to do it. The ones I see is what we see growing up. Oh, I hate this nigga. Nigga can't touch me. Don't you touch my kid? You touch my kid, I'm gonna come over and beat your ass up.
Yeah. So we got to that's mostly hood dudes, right? Most dudes who got job at an accountant or hospital, who got 9 to 5s, they're not fit throwing it all the way. They're not. They're not going to come with that approach. Now,
okay, so what they gonna do, Rufus, is instead of doing that, instead of beating a nigga up.
I'm just saying, is the hood dudes, right? Yeah, you might. First of all, if Shaniqua with 3 kids by OG do dirty, no, I'm not getting with her, no way, right? I'm not going.
Wow, that nigga made me a gang. That's great. Nigga Rufus diabolical.
I'm like, hey, if she just, my baby daddy OG blood do dirty, I'm like, oh hell no.
So you gone, huh?
You
want none of the smoke.
We ended this right here. We ended this right here. But most likely, I'm just saying, I'm gonna be vetting the woman, right? Be dating her if she's, and I see that her and her, baby daddy has I would say a healthy co-parenting situation. because this is what I'm in my vetting, right? Because once you show me as a kid, then I'm going to be observing to see, is her daddy, is he violent? Is he stalking her? Is he showing up to her house at midnight? All those things I'm taking into account before I'm making my total decision to make that move, right? So to your point, OG Dirty, if that type of guy exists, he's going to definitely make his presence be known. And if I see that we and him can't operate in a safe space, then of course I'm walking away from her.
Okay, so now go to the other alternative.
I'm telling her to take the kid with him. Either the kid,
all right,
take the kid, take it him, or I'm walking away.
Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because see, when I give you an example, I'm just giving you an example of the worst. So I gave you the example of the kid probably lying to his daddy. Now his daddy gonna go over there and beat the nigga up. That's the hood nigga shit. Now they're just gonna take it to the uppity world. They're not gonna go over there and beat you up. What they gonna do is they gonna call the laws on you, say that you over there beating they goddamn kids.
Right.
Then what you gonna do? Now give me that story, Rufus. How did you figure that out? When you're not even disciplining the kid, you might have told them, no, what you can't do is keep on throwing these goddamn Xbox controllers everywhere, screaming at me like you own every goddamn thing, not cleaning up around here. So now I'm not gonna give you nothing. I'm taking your TV. Oh, you hit me, I'm gonna tell my daddy. And next thing you know, the daddy ain't going over there physically, but he is going over there physically. He gonna put them boys in your life.
Well, of course it's hearsay, right? It's hearsay. So officer show up to my house. What's up, officer? Yeah, there is a reporting of some sort of physical altercation here. So there's no physical altercation here.
Then what if the little nigga sit there and lie right there with his daddy? He already started to lie, nigga. You making it seem like these kids ain't like you just gonna have to find a saint of a kid who ain't gonna continue to lie because he's gonna get your ass in trouble because he don't like Rufus.
Well, I'm just telling you how the conversation is gonna start.
Yeah, and he gonna be like, okay, well, with the kid that made the report.
First of all, the mother's here, I'm here.
Yeah. So what if the little bastard tell the police officer, yeah, he been hitting me. You like, I ain't been hitting him. We know you ain't hit him, but he did anyway. Yeah, you going down, brother.
No. I'm very experienced in this area, right? First of all, they're gonna say, okay, where are the bruises at? Where did he hit you at? Right? That's going to be the first thing they ask. Like, okay, let us see. And they looking at me as the big guy that I am, and the little guy that he is. If I hit him, strike him, there's going to be some sort of damage. And then they don't see no damage, don't see no bruises. They're going to be like, oh, right? They're going to probably take a report like, look, and they're going to probably pull us to the side. And then the mom's going to say, the mom's going to most likely take my side, right? Because she was there and she understands. So, right. So now we got a false claim, a hearsay. Then now you got a kid who's lying, and you don't think they're going to investigate his body to see if there is scratches or some sort of even in domestic violence with men and women, the officers ask to see, well, where did he hit you at? And they look see if there's a bruise or some sort of obstruction of the skin, right? So that's just not gonna fly like that. It's not that simple, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried about. I'm just saying, if I was a stepdad, let me clarify something. I'm just playing devil advocate right now, OG Dirty.
I know you, brother. Look, me and you done had this conversation when we talk about the nephew, so I already know this nigga up here cutting. I know this nigga up here fooling. I know what this nigga doing. I ain't trying to play with this.
I ain't gonna do it, but I'm just giving you the how you said the stepdaddy side on the logic of you never know who you're gonna fall in love with, right? And then some guys, and let me implement this to you guys. A lot of average men are having a lot of problems in this dating market with women who don't have kids. So I'm here to let you know that because of this disparity in the dating market right now, the problematic, women who are selling themselves and, not being dateable, baby mamas are the new, right? The new Beyoncés and the new Alicia Keys for average men who make average money, who just trying to have a simple life, right? And his best chance to get this with a woman will be a baby mama. I'm trying to tell you right now. I'm trying to tell you that right now. I know y'all might not, but this is in the next 10 to 15 years, this will be probably so normal that you're like, damn. Because the women of today who don't have kids, they're just the expectations are too much, right? And then they got all these delusions. But the baby mamas are Most of them are, especially they got 2 or 3 kids, they're more open to an average earner or someone who is stable because a lot of them think about their kids and they would like a man to be around them as well to have their needs filled, you know what I mean, and kind of help them a little bit. So all I'm saying is this is why stepdads are valuable, in my opinion, and important, because the first relationship, you know, the 2 parents trying to work it out, y'all didn't work it out, y'all couldn't get along, y'all argued, y'all left each other, y'all co-parents, right? The average guy who's out here struggling in the dating market takes a liking, finds someone who's stable. She's looking for somebody who's stable, not playing, not having a gang of girls, or not in and out of her child's life. This is a match made in earth, right? And this is the future. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it because long as he understands what comes with this, and I agree with you, OG Dirty and Sophisticated Judge, it is a tall order, right? I'm not saying this is easy and we just go, everything's going to be, you know, Disneyland. But here's the question I have for you, and I'm gonna give it to y'all to hear y'all input. What do you want homies to do when, right, they're out here making money, working hard, not going commit no criminal acts, trying to, you know, be whatever life gives them, whether they're a plumber or whatever, and they're trying to have a woman to come home to every day, and she's a baby mama. What do you want to do? Just to stay at die alone? I mean, I'm just trying to say, what better options do you have for them other than that baby mama if you feel this is a very, very bad situation?
I mean, if you got kids, man, it's kind of hard not to get somebody without kids. But I think you guys have some good advice where it's like, man, you definitely better vet out the guy, that the whole dynamic with the mom and the real father. You know, you better vet out how the kids act, you know. So yeah, this is a tough one, man. So I'll say get on the plane. Fuck that. I better become passport bros, goddamn it.
But you can't. The average man can't become passport bros. They can't afford to leave they work 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
It's just tricky, man. I definitely, like I said, just vet the people out. Because I mean, like you said, if you don't have too many options, it is what it is. Yeah, you can't be going out here with blue balls and dry meat. So yeah, you better just vet that situation out. That's about it.
What do you have to say to that, OG Dirty?
Yeah, I can agree with you with your betting part. But you know, judgments can be wrong and people can show fake faces. You know what I mean? Just to get in a position that they want to be in or get away from something that they don't want to be in. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, but I agree with you. Go ahead.
So yeah, and another down, so I'm gonna input something else, right? So now we have here a situation to where the average nigga's getting dog walked, right? The average man is getting dog walked. Feel me? And in his way with dealing with women, and it's nothing of his fault, right? Nothing he did wrong. It's just the women expectations are so high. How do we reconcile this amongst men, right? How do we reconcile this amongst men to say, you know, nigga, how you gonna get you would be with a baby, you be with a baby mama when married men are getting left too with kids, right? Right? They're getting left too. Let's take away just a baby mama. We talking about the married couples with kids are getting left as well. So with all the vetting and all the courting and all the tools that were given, probability versus, you know, what's the least liability versus the highest probability, we understand that the tools which we're implementing here on these YouTube spaces is try to take the best suitor that you can build with and be happy with. So is it fair to say then, should not to be the baby mama be the top of the list?
Hell no. He said, Nah, absolutely not. Because I get what you're saying, man. Like, it do seem like all situations ain't working out. But I think, like, if the kids was yours, you split up with somebody, you still got that dynamic of those being your kids. But when you in a step parent situation, you break up, you might not even be able to get access to those kids. You know, even if you pumped all that like time and money into them, if the mom is tripping or she's bitter and stuff like that. Because I got one partner, he's kind of going through that. He was attached to the kid, and she was like, "Oh hell no, you can't see the kid." So there's a little more nuance with, I say, the stepdad in that situation. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm not saying don't date them, but I wouldn't get married to somebody or move in with them while they had kids in the house. So I think y'all could date, hang out and shit like that. But I would say don't merge households until the kids are out the house. That would be the workaround for that.
So then, can we imply that to women without kids? Because, truth be told, right? All women before their baby mamas are single women who are, everybody vetted them out or courted them out or dated, whatever, right? And then they became that. So then that should be the same mentality from day one, whether she has a kid or not, right?
What was that? Repeat that again.
If you're saying, your qualifying statement, you said that a baby mama, you shouldn't move in with them or you shouldn't be with kids in the house, that you should just keep everything on the surface level, I guess, due to detachment or attachment issues or maybe instability, right? You're dealing with the dad and all that. So I'm asking you, should this be applied to single women too, right? Who don't have no kids, but right, they're problematic too, right? So we should have the same mentality to them too, right?
I mean, you got to be cautious. So like we talked about it before. I say, like, if you're young and you're growing with somebody under that dynamic, I think you could get in them situations. But I would say, like, if you older and you catch somebody, say you already built up, you probably do need a maneuver, like you saying. That's why I always kind of gave you credit by what you was talking about.
No,
but just when you talk about stepmoms and step families, it's just, like I said, it might not even be you and the mom might get along and stuff, but it might be other dynamics because there's just more layers to it that impact the relationships. And even if you talk, I usually listen to some psychiatrists on this shit, and they even say like the dynamics with the kids, it can have such an impact. You shouldn't really be moving people into the households because of those like I said, how it could impact them. My bad, OG Do Dirty. I know you was about to say something.
Oh no, I was gonna let you cook, brother. You up here doing your thing. I agree with you. The same situation. That'll be one of them other cons, brother, where you put all your fuck it. I'm going to switch it on back. When you install all that greatness and all that good character into them kids, and then she take them motherfuckers away from you because they not yours, and you can't continue to do it because she don't want you to, and you don't have no rights and nothing to it. That can be a con of it too. Man, you doing your thing. You know me, I gotta run something here in a little bit, but man, I'll be listening in, but I gotta do my own thing. But holler at me when you're done.
Okay.
Slide over to, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, y'all make sure y'all sub, make sure y'all like, and man, support the stream, man. Hit the cash app, man. All right, Rufus.
Okay.
All right, bro.
OG.
Man, keep on cooking, dog.
Okay. Thank you, OG Dirty. Thanks for coming. We always go full circle. But here's the question I have. He left right before the question. I was going to break his back. But I'll break his back.
Oh, OG Do Dirty was cooking your ass.
No. So here's the question, right? What hurts more? To have your own kids stripped away from you, or to have kids that weren't really yours stripped away from you?
I would say your own.
Exactly. And most men, they're outnumber the men stepdads, right? The men who original dads get their kids stripped away by an astronomical number. It's not even close, right? So you guys are, how you said, you guys are not being realistic here. When the men who are putting the work in with the original, I'm talking about the original dads, are getting stripped. Look at Tom Brady. Could you imagine how disappointed he was when his woman filed the paperwork, put that work on him, right? He's treated her to multiple dinners. He's dropped probably $1 million on her because he's a big baller, so he's probably over $1 million on her, right? Bought a multi-million-dollar mansion, moved her in, then she had all the kids, made sure now each of them had their own rooms. She never had to. She quit her career, everything. He said you ain't got to work. You ain't even got to use your money. All your money just sit in the bank and gain interest. I got you. And she burnt the house down. So the truth be told, the original dads are getting it worse than the stepdads. Because why? Women leave them at a far greater pace. And the numbers are astronomical.
Yeah, but I mean, if you the real dad, man, you know what I'm saying? You still have that, like, especially if you're an involved father, you have that influence with the kids, that attachment. But it's just like, if you mess around with a step daddy situation and you pump all that money into that situation, you pump your time, then it's just like, man, she could take off. Then it's just like, damn, I'd have stepped in here, I'd have elevated everybody's lifestyle and y'all just dip off. So like you said, definitely your own kids, you're going to miss them more, but
now check it out.
You still got rights to those kids, however that plays out.
Yeah, but that's costing you though. And it ain't free. Now you got to pay to play. Come on, nigga. Get it right. It ain't no free. No, it ain't. Yo, you think you just gonna see your kids for free, nigga? And you've been taking care of them all these years? You might even got to go alimony and take care of her too, right? And the money you giving her, she only probably lose 10% of that money to the kids. That's going to the Gucci store. Oh, but you got to pay to play now. Now the stepdad, he ain't got to pay to play. If she rips the kid and say, "Hey, I'm out of here," he's not legally obligated to these kids. Come on now. He walks away.
But he can still get hit with the alimony, though. If you're looking at it like that.
Yeah, but we're talking about the average man, right? We know that most men with wealth they're not being no stepdaddies, right? We know that because they want multiple women, right? But we're just talking about the average man who's in a situation where he's there for the woman and he gets attached to the kid. You're like, yeah, she can take away, but she can't hurt him financially at all.
Bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Because I got a friend literally that went through a divorce and he was the stepdaddy in that situation. She took like half his 401k. The debt, they had to split the debt in the household. So that's what I'm saying. Nah, you still get hit.
The virtual marriage laws, yeah, that applies to everybody. I'm just talking about he doesn't have to pay child support, nor does he be worried about anything to do with that child when they're done. Now, you right on that aspect. Yeah, any marriage to a man who's a high earner is a devastating financial blow.
But don't you think that would hurt a little bit more when you're like, don't get me wrong, both of them are bad, so I get what you're saying. But if you was a stepdaddy, you done did all this like stuff, and then you get hit with all these penalties, you wouldn't be like, damn.
No, it won't hurt me as bad because number one, going in, I'm like, okay, I know the chances were against this because of the kid, and I would probably be prepared just in case, right? Yeah, but it would hurt more if it's my blood. Now my blood, I'm used to, I pulled him out the womb. I helped, I cut the umbilical cord. And now, you know what I mean? And we've been doing soccer games, football games. And now all of a sudden, now she's taking them. And then on top of that, right, they're going to call somebody else daddy eventually or stepdad is going to enter the picture. That's a lot more harmful, in my estimated opinion, than me a stepdad. Those are my kids in the first place. Now I might have a little sadness, like, okay, the kids were cool. I thought the kids were cool. But shit, it ain't mine. Shit.
So you looking at it from like you could detach emotionally quicker with us.
Yeah.
So you advise like average men. You're like, hey, y'all should get with us.
I'm not advising.
Okay.
But I'm telling you the reality.
So you saying the stepmom, the stepdaddy situation is better than the actual?
It's a higher probability of maintaining than a single woman out here in her ego. It's now 30 years ago, I would have told you no, period. You know what I mean? But the way women have evolved, and you know me, I deal with women in a large number. You know what I mean? So I'm in here. I'm in this thing. I'm not a guy who's speaking, who's projecting, or who's maybe no. I talk to these girls like we FaceTime. These are women, whether I'm sexual with them or not, and I listen to them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, homie. The younger generation that this generation is ushering in, the baby mama, and I'm not suggesting, but this is the only way they're going to have a chance with a woman that's desirable. I want to say that can be somewhat maintained. You understand what I'm saying?
So since you've been out in the market and stuff, like I said, you out here, you getting the chicks.
Yeah.
You mess with some baby moms. Which one would you say like
I deal with 3.
So how was the treatment compared to single women? Would you say they were better or?
Yeah, baby moms are they're more calculated, right? They far as if they're going to be with you, if you guys have a bond or some sort of potential, they're going to do more what it takes to make it work. You know what I mean? I just don't really go with baby mamas. I'm just saying, if I was desperate to settle down, I would take the baby mama over a lot of these single girls. To be honest with you, right? But
you preface it if you were desperate, say like you was the average dude, and you would choose that over there. Okay.
Right.
But you say because you got options, you're like hell nah.
Right. I'm like no, but I mean they're bad still though, so I gotta knock it down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just saying, right? I mean, I ain't never met none of their kids. I ain't been to their house. You know what I mean? Everything's good. Everything's Gucci. They're my playmates, right? So that's the way I look at that. But I would say when I have conversations with them versus the one who don't have kids, nigga, if you want a chance to get married and have a stable marriage in year 2028, 30, year 2040, you're gonna have to get your baby mama. It's just because the single women are becoming more and more selfish and very unstable.
Now, what you saying makes sense, but I have to roll the dice. Goddamn it! I have to. I have to get the single joint if I was.
Well, see, and I understand why you're saying that.
I'm a gambler. Goddamn it!
Yeah, and plus you haven't really been out here, so your mindset is still before you got married, right? And then at this point, I don't know how successful your relationship has been. I don't know truly if you're in a happy. I don't know truly if you're in a happy marriage or a average marriage or a really great marriage, right? I'm just saying that I don't really want to know. But my point is, you do have stability. You do have history that's right. And you're at a level with this chick that you don't have to worry about, coming home to any rhetoric or trying to, you guys got it down packed, what I want to say, right? You guys got it.
Okay, I got you.
So I understand what you're saying, right? Because you're batting 1,000 right now, right? You're batting 1,000. So you're like, shit, I'm rolling the dice because.
But okay, let me give you a scenario, Ruthless. You using me. So say like me and my wife, we got a divorce. Things didn't work out. I got to get back in this market. I got some bread. I got some options, but I'm more marriage minded. What should I go after?
Okay, so if you're at your age right now, how old are you?
46.
Oh shit.
Goddamn nigga, what you want my social security next?
Nah, I'm trying to find. Well, you say you're marriage minded?
Yeah, I'm one woman type of guy. I don't like dealing with too many women, and I'm cheap.
And you want stability.
Yeah, stability.
So you're gonna have to get you between a 5, which is average, with an average body, or lower, right? Or a fat chick with an ugly face, or a baby mama. But you don't want no baby. Let's strike the baby mama out there because you're against baby mamas. So yeah, you get to get. I'm talking about a stable, and you're tight ass, right?
Yeah, pretty cheap.
You're not gonna be whining and dining these chicks with the top restaurants. Even if you got the money, you're gonna take them to motherfucking, Outback. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Right? You're gonna take them to Cheesecake Factory. So yeah, if you want a chance and not to get blocked, you don't want to get blocked, and because you're gonna get blocked if you take them anywhere like that, right? you have to deal with average, which would be 5, maybe a 6. You might be getting away with it because you're not a bad looking dude. So you can get a 6, but she's gonna have to have a average, below average body.
Okay.
Right.
So say like I wanted to go up in looks, like you said maybe 5 or 6, but I'm like, yo, man, I deserve like a 7. So would that where the baby moms,
and she have a
baby moms
body,
might come in there?
Banging body?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to spend.
Damn. Okay.
You can't be taking them to no Cheesecake Factory. If she got a banging body, and I'm sure me knowing you, I've been knowing you for a little bit now, over a year. You want your woman with some body, right? You don't want to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right, like you don't want like a walking board stick.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
So you 7 with a banging body, she doesn't have to be super, super. I wouldn't say Megan Thee Stallion, but something you can touch. Oh yeah, you have to spend. Now you don't have to spend a great amount of money, but nigga, you're pulling up at Roof Chris minimum, and you're and you better upgrade that little Honda you got and get get your little Mercedes, man. You don't have to get the most expensive one. You know what I mean? Just trade that motherfucker out. I'm saying, but you seem to have game, so you got conversation. So yeah, your presentation would be that, which is not really that expensive. You know what I mean? It's still it's a little bit more than what you would usually spend, but you can still win, right? You still got that.
Okay, I got
you. Know what I mean? But she got to be either a nurse, or she has to work at maybe Hooters or a waitress, something like that, right? You can't get with no lawyer, no doctor, no, you know what I mean? Because you're tight, right? You don't want to spend. So you gotta get 7 with a banging body who's a nurse, maybe a nurse practitioner, something like that. I think you get a level of you might get level. You know what I mean? You might get there.
Okay.
I give you that. But you're gonna still have to spend a little bit because she knows she's a bad bitch, or she thinks she's a bad bitch. So I'm just saying, niggas be on her. The doctors be on her. Doctor be hot at her when she go to work. Hey, Sabrina, right? So it ain't gonna be. And then if she picks you, y'all chemistry hit, nigga, you're gonna have to, and you better be not talking about no 50-50, no Dutch.
Damn, Ruthless, you done box me in, man. Shit, I might have to get like you said, the 5 baby mom, man, so I could.
Then you get the 50-50. You get what you want. You have the leverage, right? You have the leverage because all your kids are grown. You got a 401k. Your shit on point, right? You got a crib. You might have lost a little bit through your divorce, but you still Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you might want to get a 5 average body. That's when. Now that ain't gonna cost you a lot. That's gonna save you about a little extra 6 bands a year.
Damn, okay. Ruthless got this shit down to a science. We still gotta do that one live, man, about the ranges. You remember we was talking about that the last time?
Oh, we can do that now. Shit. We can do that now.
I gotta roll out soon. But yeah, listen. I'm gonna definitely hit you up on that, man. Because I wanted to hit you up also to start doing more breakdowns with you.
Okay. We can break We can, oh man, you know what I mean? I'm expert at this shit. I just gave you just a little bit of sample size. I helped you. I found out your value on the dating market. Yeah, you're at between 5 to 6.
5 and 6. All right.
Average body. I mean, she got a little something, you know what I mean, but not too much.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, I mean, hey, 46. Now, in my opinion, before I end the show, in my opinion, I think you won't settle for that.
So you saying I'm gonna have to kick out some bread, huh? You
Oh,
said
you
I'm
will.
gonna end up spending.
No, you will. You will. Because once that 8, I'll give you that smile because you're single, you fresh off a divorce. You know what I'm saying? You shining, nigga. You shining. Now they, oh. And once you see that 8 who she got the aesthetic that you want, and you and she starts talking to you and you she smiles at you, she's smiling at you, you're in your mind automatically gonna say, no, we're not going no motherfucking Denny's. We ain't going no motherfucking Cheesecake Factory. You might get away with it once. 8, you get an 8 with a banging body and she just own you. Oh yeah, you taking it you taking the roof, Chris, nigga. Yeah, you ain't taking no Applebee's, nigga. You taking the roof because you want to, but you don't have to take it all the time. You know what I mean? Just want it like once every other month. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do it, Ruthless. I'm gonna stick with my 5s and 6s, dog.
All right, Jared. Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna hit you up, man. So we do those breakdowns. But nah, good live, man. You kind of. I'll see what y'all was saying as far as the stepdad. So I would say that they are valuable because of the tough situation they put themselves in. But
well, I mean, I don't think it's just the way the single women are playing the game right now. And if you're a guy who can't be with no ugly chick, you know what I mean, and you have a little swag about yourself, you're taking it. You gotta take. You're forced to take a baby mama, damn near.
yeah, especially after a certain age. Yeah, you going.
Yeah, because it's single women ain't no joke, man. You know, I'm telling you right now, man.
But I still agree with Anton's position in this. Like, yeah, you got options. Definitely, it would be like my last choice. So I
But what Anton doesn't understand is, see, Anton's speaking from a wealthy man position, or a man with money, what means. He's not speaking for the average man, though. So he's wrong if you're speaking in general. He's correct if you're speaking in his position. He's wearing Gucci shoes.
But let me ask you a question before you shut out. Do you think like an average guy, I get what you're saying. He might have to take that, whatever he could kind of get. But do you think they really want that?
What, the average guy?
Yeah.
Depends on the level of her beauty.
Okay.
If she's a bad bitch with 2 kids and her body's still banging, and he hasn't got approached by this type of woman in ever, oh yeah, nigga, you think he's gonna fuck that up? You think he's gonna fuck up his opportunity to get with a bitch of his dreams? Kids, he's finna have them kids. He's finna buy them kids big wheels. He finna buy them everything they want. What you want? Because he knows the key to her is them. If he makes them happy, she gonna be happy.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I'm just telling you, he's finna, because most baby mamas, they place a lot of value in their kids. You know what I mean? And once you pour into them kids, especially financially, and taking the soccer game, oh shit, nigga, you in. You in there like swimwear. But them young single women, shit, you're doing the same thing, but instead of investing in the kids, right? You're pouring that money in her, and you're pouring quadruple.
Damn.
Yeah, she's she letting you know. These women ain't playing, man. She gonna want you cash shopper. She gonna want you this. She gonna want you that. Her hair, everything. These women are not coming out here like they used to. Oh, I want to hear your character. I'm gonna pretend like I like your character. I'm gonna pretend like you're a good guy. No. They're coming out saying, nigga, if you can't make and elevate me, nigga, fly up out of my way. And that's what's happening out here, man. These women want to succeed. They want success. They do not want stress.
You said they want that soft girl life, huh?
Yes, that's what they want. That's what they feel they're entitled to. They're not, it's not, and it has nothing to do with men, right? Because there's men trying to say, oh, don't leave with your wallet. It doesn't fucking matter. She's looking on Instagram. She's looking on Facebook. She's looking on TikTok, right? I deserve that. And I'm going to get to that. And then here comes some good-looking guy who has a little game about himself. And she's looking like, well, he's cute now. He's this. He got some this, but man, I need him. I want this more. I want to be successful more. And if he's not giving me that best chance to get that, to her, he is not as valuable.
Let me ask you one more question. So do you think stepdaddies are enabling bad behavior then?
No. They didn't force the breakup. It's just that the two couples couldn't amend their differences. And most likely the woman left first. So she walked away.
But do you think like some of the women that walk away, like in the back of their mind, they're like, you know what, man, I can get me one of these average dudes. They're gonna be there. They'll scoop me up. So do you think it makes it like a little easier for them to walk away?
No, that's not why. That's not why. They're walking away because they have an independent mindset going in. And then while they're trying to work it out with you, y'all arguing, fighting, they're like, shit, I don't need you. I don't need this bitch. I can do this by myself. And I'm going to hit him for the little money he got. If not, if he ain't got no money, then shit, that's okay. They got a lot of support. Most women going to have support. Their moms, family support. So they're going to have a little support system, and they're leaving them. They're not typically, baby mamas don't leave their baby daddies for other niggas. Typically, right? Typically, baby mamas leave their baby daddies because they just don't. Number one is financial. He's not where he's not where he's supposed to be in a lot of cases. That's one. Two, they argue about the dumbest shit. So her emotions and feelings change because they're arguing a lot. And then three, she feels it's better by herself than be with him because she's going to want it more than he does. So therefore, with that independent mindset, she's out of there. Now, typically most baby mamas don't get with nigga at least a year, 2 years after the breakup and it's not that because they still can't get over the baby daddy. No, it's because now they're trying to, hustle, prove that they can take care of this child. And their moms and their sisters, they all get a little help, pitch in, and that's how it goes. Then if a guy comes in, which is the average guy who they meet at work or meet while they're on a grind, then, then they start looking like, okay, well, maybe this could work. Let me give this another shot. But they're vetting, but the woman is not acting like the man now, right? So now she's vetting him more for, I don't want all these men going in and out around my children. You know what I mean? She's just not taking any nigga no more. She's gonna actually be more, and if she really likes you and she really wants you, right? She's gonna be more feminine. I wouldn't say more submissive, but more tolerable. And she's gonna be more likely to try to work things out in a diplomatic way without yelling and screaming.
You growling. These hoes is under duress. They damn near like a week after that shit. They on the hunt.
Who we talking about? Nurses, doctors, women, them type of women?
No. I'm talking about.
What I'm talking about? You're talking about the minority. I'm talking about the majority. Majority of baby
I'm talking about the majority. Shit, they ain't holding out for no 2 to 3 years.
Majority baby mamas are nurses, lawyers, doctors, all of them. You know that, right? You're talking about the degenerates, right? LaQuisha and them. Right?
Man, I'm talking about all of them. I'm not, because I'm just saying, I think they move on a lot faster. Probably not the marriage as far as locking in the marriage, but yeah, they be out there dating ASAP. Like,
no. I'm not saying they don't be dating. What I'm saying is, still, if they find someone they truly liking, they're going to. It's like let's say they meet a guy that is intentional. He has a greater chance at being an average guy, making good, average income, of getting with that chick.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right.
Because she's going to be more, right? She's going to look at him more valuable than she would if she was single.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
And then she's looking at it as, oh, well, shit. He look like he's going to end here for the good. I ain't got to worry about him in and out of my kid's life. So yeah, all those things are important to him. So thanks for coming, Jerk.
All right, man. Take care. You a whole stepdaddy advocate over here, man. Shout out to you. They better drop that bag on you when you get monetized. All the stepdaddies support Ruthless Truth. Jerk can't get fucking with y'all. No, but all right, Ruthless.
All right. And to close it out, thank you for your support. Thank you for everybody, B-Baller, all y'all dropping in. Until next time, Ruthless Truth is out.